We're on that one right now, but okay. So apparently my triggers are backwards. Oh, well, that's fine, that's fine. So, an interesting thing. We're gonna try this one more time. But, here's the thing. Only one more time. Because I just found out, I was doing a little bit more research on this, and, well, actually, it's more like I was looking into different drops and the way some of the fights are, they have little quirks in certain situations and all that. I just kind of trying to see if I missed anything, and it turns out that, yeah, actually, Azelston, he actually does not disappear at this point. The first two fights, if you end up progressing with the story, he disappears, but at this point, he is just a permanent fixture in this dungeon area here. So basically, we're good to just go ahead and move on to Hanging Gardens. See, the thing is, once we get past Hanging Gardens, that's the point at which we can access the Priest. The Priest would be unequivocally better in pretty much every way to the Cleric in this particular situation. They definitely have some downsides to them, but as far as almost everything, they're going to be a hell of a lot better at it. But yeah, so functionally speaking, they have access to a lot of different skills that would be handy. A lot more ranged options, a lot more just AoE options and all that kind of thing. So, generally speaking, I'm thinking the stronger option is just going to be to go for the Priest. Again, you might be wondering what the big difference is there. See, they're the only one that's able to technically exercise on both actions of their turn. So they have a AoE exercise move, they've got a finisher for pistols, if you want to go for that, and then they've also got, they've also got just their normal exercise and all that kind of thing. Not to mention pretty much everything else that the Cleric does. The only thing that they don't have is Mercy and I believe Rasa, but, I mean, granted, Rasa is freaking amazing. But still, it's not something that will come up for the purposes of this here. Now, let me double check this real quick, because I think... trying to figure out what button is exactly mapped to what here. Huh. Because I think some of these buttons are just mapped weird. Yeah, okay, so for some reason, square and triangle are backwards when I use the PS3 controller. Not sure what that's about, but anyway. We'll give this one more go, and then if that doesn't work, we'll just go ahead and go for Hanging Gardens. No real sense in trying to make this all complicated. So there we go. Also, hello there, Mr. Cowman. How's your morning? How are things and occurrences? And yeah, so I forget if I mentioned this last time. I ran the numbers for the level 1 challenge, and yeah, it is possible. I think it can be done on both versions, possibly. I'm not so sure about the One Vision mod, but I know on the vanilla game it's very barely possible. Thing is, though, it requires almost 5,000 casualties before even the run even begins. So I forget if I mentioned that or not, but yeah, we'll see how we end up doing that one. Because I'm tempted to do the whole thing like, oh, you know, I just put in all the cheats to make all of the grinding automatically happen, you know. Just push the button and it's done, but then at the same time, you know, that it's going to be this whole long challenge thing, and somebody's going to be like, oh man, you didn't do a legit, you know, how dare you, everything's completely wrong now. So, I'm so very, very tempted. So very, very tempted to just do that normally. So you might be doing Armor Core stuff again soon. Just discovered someone took one of my records. What? Which record did they take? Was that most amount of money you can make in a mission, or one of the speedruns? Gotta work to keep up with those. Which I guess is kind of the frustrating thing with speedruns, that there's always somebody actively trying to, you know, to come over and take your record and all that. You do a challenge run that's stupid enough, nobody's ever gonna try it. Like, that's what I'm thinking with this level 1 run. Like, every other challenge up to this point, I regularly put out there as a monthly thing. The level 1, man, that thing's gonna suck so bad, I guarantee nobody's gonna try it. Let's see, AC2, any % no fail the mission? Well, despite that being a super awkward title, you should get on that. You should go fix that mess. You should go become the world champion again. Beat your time by a full minute and some change. That sounds like some new strats were discovered. Oh yeah, right. Square isn't working right now because it's on triangle for some friggin' reason. No idea what that's about. And we're probably going to get locked into this tile here. Yeah, we're going to look space this way. Small chance to avoid their... Okay, they're not going to try to attack. I mean, technically speaking, they've only got the one gremlin healer this time, I think. More than likely, we're just going to bail out of this fight and go do Hanging Gardens and then just come back after that. Because, yeah, Hanging Gardens has the Priest class mark at this level, or by the level that we'll get there. So yeah, we should be able to get that. I don't think we can use Knight Commander on him, which we wouldn't have unlocked anyway. Huh? What's up? Your magnets? What happened to them? No, they're in the play area. You should go find them. Not to mention... Hang on one sec. Alright, and back. So, Mr. Cow, out of curiosity, with that, the record that they broke there, did they have a video out? Like, to kind of show how they did it? They also contacted the other mod on the side about an emulator run being listed under PS2 in the Arena Speedrun category. Maybe that'll be fixed. How much does that matter for AC? Like, I mean, I think, I was actually considering doing a potential speedrun of TO here. Weirdly enough, it's kind of... Okay, so it's bizarre that they actually still ban emulators for this one for the purposes of speedruns, because there's literally no speed difference, except for it slows down on emulator. So you're actually disadvantaging yourself by making it easier to record. But, I mean, technically, if I did that, I would actually just do it on... I would just do that on a Vita. So anyway, yeah, I don't actually have to go in here right now. If I come back later, done deal. Don't even have to worry about it. So yeah, we'll save that for later. Now, part of the reason I would just struggle through this, but here's the thing: it's not the fight is not in its final version right now. A lot of Chapter 4 isn't quite done yet, and if we're doing all bosses, I want to come back and I want to do that once Chapter 4 is done. So what we're gonna do Hanging Gardens. We're gonna finish up to the end of the game because I know the end of the game has been optimized, or not optimized, but has been completed to some degree, right? So we'll make it to the end of that, we'll make it to the end boss, and then once we technically beat the game, we'll do all the New Game Plus stuff after Chapter 4 is completed. Also, hang on, slight delay here, because I have this weird issue with my CD tray that it keeps opening and closing, and it's trying to open up a CD right now. There we go. Alright, so what we're going to do with this one, we're going to get the flight boots, now we're going to go ahead and move ourselves up above that waterfall there. This was kind of a bit of a wasted move right now. That's fine. Let's see, they have a time that can't physically be done on PS2. They played worse, but beat my time by 3 to 4 minutes because it runs and loads faster. Oh, yeah, that sucks. That sucks pretty good. Yeah. It's, you know what, it's the nice thing of why, when it comes to Resident Evil speedrunning and things like that, they've specifically got versions of each game that cuts out the loading screens entirely. Like the speedrun counter, it just stops the second that you hit a loading screen. It's led to far more accurate timing. Now I don't know everything about speedruns, but man, that kind of stuff's just nice. They have little quality of life things that fix stuff. Yeah, and this one, if you try to run it on an emulator, the overhead map and some of the storm maps will slow down. Which, I mean, you guys have seen, I'm sure. But when it comes to original hardware, it's amazing. It just runs like butter. So you got the best time on an actual PS2, but I'm listed second on the site under the emulated run. Did they do anything different actual run-wise, or is it all loading screens? Actually, on that note, I find it hilarious that, yeah, something like AC apparently is getting a little bit behind as far as whether their mods are actually watching. But this one, for whatever reason, over a decade since, I think it's been like a decade since someone actually set the record for this one, which is why I was going to consider trying it, because despite it being pretty optimized, it's very RNG heavy. But yeah, somebody's still watching that one to this day, surprisingly. See, load and the gameplay is literally faster. Okay, yeah, that really sucks. That is poo stankins. Which is funny, because years ago when they were first taking a lot of these records, there was a quote from, I want to say it was either one of the CEOs or one of the magazines or something, that basically said that due to all hardware and everything else being different for every person, technically, they really don't want to take any records of speedruns or anything else, so they only count things that are in tournaments. But, yeah, I forget what that was. I think it was in response to that guy that supposedly had the longest held world record, except it turned out to be a total farce. Alright, I think we're just going to put on haste here, because I'm still running regen, still got a decent amount of health. All I really need to do is get close to the guy. They really don't have too much they can do in this fight. What am I doing over there? Well, there's a bunch of lizards running around. Why are they doing that? Because it's their job.
Look, rain!
Yeah, it's rain, you're right.
No, waters.
Yeah, there's waters. And what does that look like? Yeah, it's a circle.
It's going down.
Yeah, he went down a little bit. Co-commentator says hi. Yeah, how's that hopping up and down? Hi. What you up to, silly? Yeah.
We have strawberries.
I don't think we have any strawberries right now, kiddo. No, we don't have any strawberries. I might be able to get you some yogurt, though. Okay, let's go get you some yogurt. Uno momento por flavors. Okie dokie, and back. So let's see. So the beginning of the new run, from what little I watched, looked legit, but I have to look into it further later. Well, you do that. Look into the legitness. Right, let's see. All we need here, need a tabula, need a full heal, and yeah, we're pretty much good to go. Which, by the way, so I was thinking as far as how exactly to kind of lay out, since there were a bunch of runs that were theorized for, you know, the next few months here. What I was thinking is once this one wraps up, this one can be Fell Seal. Once the Mana run wraps up, that can become the Level 1 run. Once the X Division run wraps up, that can be the completion of the Cerebro Monster mod. Monster run, rather. I don't know why I'm calling it the Monster mod. It's not... I mean, it's the Cerebro mod Monster run. There we go. Which has had about 50 bajillion updates since the very last time, so who knows? The party might be completely janked and unusable at this point, but supposedly they're better. So we'll see how that goes. Man, this feels nice. It's the first actual, hopefully mostly off day for the last almost 2 weeks. Feels very nice. Alright, hopefully get a counter poison. I don't believe these guys are immune to poison, and I don't think they have any clerics either. Stanoska is one of those fights that the river is the real fight here. And it's actually, for the level 1 run, for a large portion of it, I'm actually going to be running Rune Fencers, and this river is one of the reasons why. There's actually a whole lot of maps with water on them, and they're the only ones that end up... Well, not the only ones, but they're one of the few that start off with with the ability to go into water. But either way, please don't hit this. Thank you. Alright, and poison goes there. How about you stop hitting me with that stuff? That'd be great. Because every time that they hit me with that, that means that I can't take that turn to go do something else, so blah. Alright. But yeah, I figure if we just go do Hanging Gardens now, that's the only part that I know for sure of Chapter 4 has been, you know, at least looked at, so it should be all good to go. Because yeah, I know the last boss has had some balancing passes and things like that. Most of the rest of it is still just kind of how it wound up. Like, I should clarify, it's still workable. It still does its thing. It's just, it hasn't quite gotten updated to the point that chapters 1 through 3 have, which after going through those a few times now, yeah, that mess is fun. That mess is really fun. So I want to give it the full experience, you know? Want to do it legit. Especially, like, with that last fight, there were those few cases where gremlins were spawning in without any abilities and things like that. Which was mostly a function of how gremlins have changed in recent patches. For those that didn't know, basically gremlins became more akin to their previous versions from the series, wherein they're mostly the evil one and fairies are the light-based one. But yeah, since gremlins are basically supposed to be hell fairies for all intents and purposes. But yeah. So we're just going to let that do its thing whenever he gets to it. I don't know when that's going to be. I should clarify that this by no means says that I have some inside information that would indicate that, you know, he's suddenly working on patch friggin' 1.0.10 billion or some crap. But no. So far, it's all the way through Chapter 2, and then Chapter 3... Neutral and Law, I think he's done so far. It might just be Neutral, actually. Which, actually, that was pretty unexpected when that came out. So, it's going to be a minute, probably a few months, and that's fine. I mean, we'll see how it goes. We're still probably going to have a couple streams just getting through Hanging Gardens here, because we have one more castle fight. We basically get through this... after this, we have the vertical city map, which we should be able just to fly up there. We're gonna actually try to one-shot their boss in that particular one. Then after that, we should have Heim. We'll probably finish off this one around the end of Heim there. And then after Heim, it's just off to Hanging Gardens. And so that's about 4 to 8 maps, depending on how you handle it. Given that we have the ability to fly, we should be able to take it down to the minimum there, but we'll see. My oh my, they don't understand how 55% works at all. They just keep hitting all those. Hang on, let me take a quick look here. What is your deal? Okay, yeah, they are... What is going on with the buttons right now? For some reason I'm having some input lag on only certain buttons. Alright. But yeah, the vanilla run has been interesting, to say the least, the level 1 run there. So I've routed out mostly what I want to get done for that one up until Hanging Gardens. I'm just getting through that. So I suppose there's still the possibility, like I ran the numbers, there's still technically the possibility that once we get through all of it, it's not going to end up being possible. But I think, I'm fairly certain that there's more than enough leeway to make it work. So part of the reason I say that is because obviously everything's got its own weird damage threshold, which is just a function of, please miss this, thank you, which is essentially just going to be a function of vitality, physical defense, kind of the defense threshold off your armor, and kind of whatever buffs are happening to be going on at the time. Which so far, I haven't seen anything that Breach wouldn't sort. Alright, that's fine. Let's do that one again. Truth be told, the best option would probably just be to sit on the very edge there. Oh, hello there. Thank you, Torino11, for the follow thing. Appreciate it. But yeah. Okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and leave here. Technically speaking, we can actually skip that fight if we just take the Boulder Sands fight. We might as well just do that. Because technically, it should be easier. Now, there's not anything inherently impossible or anything about this particular one. In fact, it'll probably end up being the easier of the two fights. I almost never take Boulder Sands. But let's go ahead and take a look. Why not? Let's see what we're running into here. And we'll probably change the look, since we're abandoning the Buccaneer for now. Let's see. I mean, if you can... It's funny how their idea of defense works. Like, on this one, they've got a ton of people and some dragons. On the other one, it's like they've got a bunch of octopi in a river. Which, yeah, that would arguably be the better defense, but I'm pretty sure these guys actually have healers? Let's take a look. Yeah, they actually have healers and everything else, so... I would really argue that this one has the better team, but we'll see. Alright. This whole square and triangle being switched thing is throwing me off. Alright, we'll throw in a Filter of Ashes. I don't think anyone's going to have too much range options here. I think it's a Blow Dart up in the front there. But I figure it's a good idea. Boo. Yeah, definitely don't have False Strike sitting around. Alright, everybody do their charging. Yeah, this particular fight is a favorite of a few folks that like to power level. Because, yeah, if you get one of the long-range bows in the vanilla game, you can basically just snipe this lady over and over, and this fight gives a ton of experience, so it's pretty handy. Alright, we'll go ahead and drop a Regenerate here. Man, I wish Mercy worked with Regenerate somehow. Just, like, give you double regeneration per each turn. That'd be amazing. I'm not even sure how we'll do this one. I think we'll probably end up going for the other one. Because, yeah, we've got at least one cleric. They've got a lot of casters. We're definitely going to want to go lower level for this part. I'm wondering if it might make more sense to go to Berserker at this point. Because I could potentially do a double claw build. Parry and things like that would be obscenely overpowered by this point. I don't have access to Lord yet. Might be worth actually just going through POTD to get Lord. Huh. Not even sure if that would work at this point. Oh well. Again, simplest method will just be the most obvious one. So we're just gonna try to push through here. Yeah, I think we'll end up taking the canyon. Just this layout doesn't really give us much to work with. Alright, hang on just 1 second and go check on something. Alrighty, so let's do this thing. So first off, can we rage anything here? I think, yeah, I think low leveling it'll probably be the best way to go here. Should have picked up Lord. Should have picked up Lord. Yeah, rage will still be our best bet. Can we breach anything? So we get a full bar. You know what? You know what? No, we're just gonna go for the other fight. We're gonna do this the obvious way. The easy way. I'm completely... completely overlooking the obvious. Alright, so here's what we do. We'll go ahead and withdraw. Then, go ahead and move our way up here. I'm gonna probably piss some people off for going through all that effort and then immediately bailing. But I think you can agree it'll probably be more interesting to see the actual OV version of that fight once it comes around. Okay. So yeah, claws are fine. I was thinking about doing hammers for a little while, but I think we can just leave that as is. What's going on? Alright. What we're gonna do, should probably go for the defensive option here. All we're getting is... Actually, no, this is almost a downgrade. Alright. Aside from health, anyway. Alright, so, here's the plan here. So, first of all, they can't heal. So, the obvious answer is obvious. I just basically keep fighting these guys over on this shore. They've got some fencers that'll be able to move their way over here. I'm actually going to put on a blessing here as kind of a... it's kind of a setup for later. I can kind of low-key use TP plus without actually having TP plus. So keep hitting with poison, keep hitting with claws and all that kind of thing. Probably throw out a Howling Rage later, and that right there is why I put on Sidestep. Figured at least one of them would spawn with the boulders. So like I said, the fight still works in its current version, but it's still using vanilla layouts. This honestly still is... I mean, it's basically the vanilla fight for all intents and purposes. There's really not much noticeable as long as you don't go into the skills menu at this point. But yeah. So they'll all work, except for those gremlins. And again, I'm pretty sure nobody gives too much of a crap about those. But I'm curious. I'm curious to see what he's going to come up with, and frankly, I just don't want to redo it a second time because of, stuff that got redone. So we're going to do it once. I mean, Pirate's Graveyard is going to be a hell of a adventure there. Now, you might be saying, oh, you must have gotten through the hard part. No. No. There are two particular fights that are on the way to get the Buccaneer there that absolutely suck. Like, they're just downright dreadful. And actually, I'm hoping, by any chance, that he might fix one of the, specifically a bug with one of the maps, because it came up a bunch of times when I was doing the vanilla version of this run. Because, actually, come to think of it, what I've decided, for anyone that was wondering for the kind of New Game Plus part of that one, what I decided is I'm just going to do one long finale video, just all that was interesting out of Coda, all that was interesting out of anything else, and then just, that's it. I really don't feel like going through Palace of the Dead and doing commentary on every single fight one by one. I've gone through that stuff, it's just... nobody wants to see that, trust me. So yeah, we'll be, that'll be out whenever it's out. I don't know how long that's going to take. But yeah, whenever it's up, it'll certainly be up. So unfortunately, they've got 2 Purify users. It's not going to be enough to sort out a lot of problems for them. And yes, I know I need to resort that list. I'll probably get to it never, because I always forget that that's a feature. But hopefully I'll remember. I would have appreciated that to be a miss, but oh well. So yeah, we'll just go about it this way. The idea being that we can more or less keep them locked in a stalemate while we're just sitting and doing counterclaws. Oh, thank you for the subscription there, Mr. Evan. How has it been going for you? So this run needs an original theme song that wouldn't get copy striked. I mean, in a lot of cases, you could probably just play some 8-bit version of the Benny Hill theme. Just running around the arena over and over, and then eventually getting stuck in a corner. What you doing, kiddo? Why are you jumping up and down? What's that about? Yeah, is that blue?
It's going up.
Yeah, the blue is going up. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
Look.
Yeah, I see there's more blue happening, huh?
They're all gone.
They're all gone. I don't know, they still seem to be there.
Look, in the water.
Yeah, it's the water, you're right. Good job.
Look.
And what's that?
What's that?
Uh,
Wait.
it's good because it's clean?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were thinking more like 80s music style? Hmm.
Water. It's
Hmm.
water. Look.
Go get a Battle Beast cover of this.
Go down.
Yeah, the water's going down. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
So cute. What's that?
it's so cute. What's so cute? What? The octopus? Yeah?
Yeah.
You like the octopus?
Yeah.
Apparently my daughter thinks the octopus is really cute.
It's going to swing.
It's going swinging?
Yeah.
Yeah, what? Why is it doing that?
It's going to go back.
It's taking a bath? I mean, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it's certainly looking like it's taking a bath, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah, the octopus get clean? Yeah.
Yeah, eat clean.
Skulltopus, alright, let's see what we got here. There we go. Yeah. What's that?
Yeah, if you do this, it's going swing. One of us.
It's what?
My elbows.
It's opals?
Elbows is amazing.
Oh, it's the apples that are she thinks it's an apple core. It's the apples that are missing. No.
Look, what's that?
Where?
It's what I do.
What, this?
This?
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a purple thing. Is that Barney?
Barney? No, what's this one?
No, it's that one?
That one?
Okay.
It's so cute.
It's so cute, huh?
Oh,
Aww.
what's that?
What's what?
Apples.
Apples? Oh, that guy looks like an apple?
What's
Oh,
that?
it's... Oh, you see the apples? Okay.
Look.
Yeah, I see it. What is it?
It's an apple.
I think she thinks the red guy's an apple. Aw. Good job,
What's
kiddo.
that?
What's what?
Look.
That's animal crackers.
It's like a...
Yeah. Did you finish your breakfast? You did? Here you go. Excuse me, what? Well, I do believe I have some of those for you too, Miss Sassy Lady. Hang on one quick moment. Gotta find adorable kiddo some straws. Oh, well dang, I apparently walked away at a bad time. Huh. Suddenly dead happened. Alright. Let's look this over again. What's going on here? Let's go ahead and walk out of there. What else can we use for this? I mean, we're probably better off just using the knight. It's going to be under-leveled, but just over-leveled enough to make it all work. I mean, we're better off running either... Knight's going to have field health 1, but they're going to have enough bulk that, honestly, they shouldn't... Basically, they can defend a lot better, so they'll be able to out-heal anything they need to. Also, let's change that look real quick. Currently, we have Blue Mage Denim. Let's go for Dart Denim. I forget what that one looks like exactly, but that's the one we're going to go for. Alright, switch over to Spellblade for a minute. Switch over to this. And what's up with that sad face there, Mr. Cowman? can never, ever switch over to this look without immediately getting the Dart theme stuck in my head. Oh, it's so good. So good. Are you not feeling good? Catch the plague. Everybody's having a hard time with. Alright, we're gonna pick up Phalanx. Instead of Blessing, we're gonna go ahead and pick up Rampart Aura. And seeing his ability to heal, it's kind of gimped. We're gonna switch over to another thing here. Let's get Field Alch 1 in this business. We don't need Aug Earth as much now. Can worry about getting that up later. Can replace that with Aug Fire. Herpetology. Hope not. Corona was just reported one state over. Yeah, supposedly it's way worse and way more everywhere than they think. And currently, certain peoples in charge seem to want to just wish the frickin' thing away, so... at least CDC is still doing their job. But yeah, apparently there's not enough testing and things like that. Pretty much all over the dang place. So far, I'm a little bit surprised how much Michigan's been missed by it, considering we get hit by friggin' every disease, but that's been nice. Yeah, my brother lives literally in the city that one of the outbreaks started happening. They're good so far, but apparently there was a mass panic, and they still can't get a hold of a lot of stuff. I'm gonna put Demonology over on this guy. Actually, no, not Demonology yet. It's gonna replace Herpetology at some point. Then Clarity can be replaced with something or other. Basically, Bathe and Hand Sanitizer now. Yeah, we've been doing something similar. Alright, max TP 4. Counter hit can get upgraded to its proper version. Alright, that's looking good. And then we just go to the store and we buy a absolute buttload of healing seeds. Because we won't have the opportunity to actually get any for quite a while after the next few fights. But yeah, so I had a guy get offended at work the other day. He comes in, he starts coughing, I immediately just go and break out the hand sanitizer and everything else, and he's like, "Oh, it's okay, I don't have the thing." I'm like, "Sir, you're sick, I got 2 kids, I'm not taking any chances, I'm sorry." He's like, "Oh, well, you know, you shouldn't be doing that." I'm like, no, there's a plague going on, there's plenty of other things to be worried about. No. You can deal with some hand sanitizer around. It's fine. You live. I mean, didn't use those exact words, but yeah, no. People act weird sometimes. All right, so 80 seeds really should be enough. And yeah, we'll do Pirate's Graveyard later. I was absolutely certain that Asliston just dies at this point, but yeah, no. Apparently he's perfectly fine staying down there as long as he needs to. Go figure. So we'll just go Knight. Worst case scenario, Knight doesn't work. We'll go Warlock, and then yeah, we should be all right. Should be very over-skilled and overstatted at this point. All right, he's still coming in at 20, so very slightly under last time. Actually, is that scaling up? Or is this already triggered scaling by chance? I guess it depends entirely on what they're carrying. Did people actually object to using hand sanitizer? The guy got offended because I guess he thought I was overreacting or something like that. But again, it's like you just started coughing. I was just checking out the items that you were doing there. I'm gonna wash my hands. I don't really know what you expect. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, no, they're running basic stuff again. Okay. Okay, we're good. So, same strategy as last time, except with a lot more sitting in place. But people get offended at all kinds of things. And usually, that'll end up being the folks that are usually talking about how other people are so offended, but they're not, and then they're offended by stupid stuff. But, oh well. Nobody said we're not a hypocritical species. Poke. And yes, we're basically doing the same damage that we did as the other class, with a far slower setup, but yeah, it caused this entire fight's scaling to go down, which means they're going to come in with much worse gear. This kind of situation will not be affected as far as coming back for Chapter 4 later goes. All of this will more or less function the same way. Offended by you saying people get offended? Yeah, I mean, they never do that. Everyone's just completely on their game all the time and never has any insecurities whatsoever. Man, we're so good at that. That whole never having problems thing. It's good times, good times. Alright. Now, what kind of damage are we looking at? That's alright. Could do better, though. I'm just gonna walk back here and heal a little bit. So we're gonna want to get rid of the octopi first. Largely just because all of their abilities slow, and that's really annoying. It's so annoying! They've got so friggin' many slow moves. They got their close range slow move, they got their long range slow move, they got their big AoE poison move to take advantage of their slow move. And we're already about as slow as we can be. Because I think Knight is actually the hands-down slowest class, plus it's currently equipping about the slowest loadout that you could possibly have. Because helmets and heavy armor are going to be the heaviest, plus I'm using the side-graded heavy armor, so it's even heavier, plus a heavy shield. Like, just about the only thing I could do to make it heavier would probably be equipping a pike instead of a spear, but that would make it, I think it's like a 1 or 2 weight difference. So there's that. No, stop having moves! Yeah, part of the problem is I think all of them come in with Tactician. So they're just going to be regenerating points like crazy. So if they even get a single hit off, they can usually use an ability the next turn. Meanwhile, I have to charge about all 300 to be threatening. But what I'm hoping for, and part of the reason that I scaled this down, is while sitting back here is certainly an option and possibly one of the better ones, I want to see if we scale it all the way up to 300, if we throw a breach onto Stenoska there, if we can just one-shot him. Another option here would have just been to go for the evasion setup. Outer avoidance would already be far higher than their agility. But okay. Yeah, because we're just getting pummeled. Got a lot of health, got a lot of healing, but we're getting pummeled real good. Thankfully, we can screw with their movement to a pretty hilarious degree here. But yeah, I think all we need to do is go for the light spear setup. I was kind of hoping their leader would run forward there. Alright. Now then, let's take a quick look. How much does this do to you? 230. So yeah, with a breach and a full charge, I think it can work, especially if he runs up and gets himself countered right now. Is he running Wade, or is that just something the Beast Saber can do? Okay. Alright, so I'm going to throw that down right there to make sure that he can't move. Pretty sure he already can't, but just in case. Really didn't need that getting through, but okay. So what I'm hoping for is that, given that he doesn't have too many other options, he'll decide to run up and move forward. If he does, I mean, it should be his easiest turn, but if he does, he'll be stuck right next to us, meaning we can take another turn to heal, throw another phalanx off to the side. Come on, parry. Ah, crap. Especially didn't need that breach there. But what we need is to be able to take a couple quick turns. Unfortunately, we keep getting hit by slow, so that's pretty unlikely. I should probably turn on slow ward for this fight. But with that out of the way, as long as we can hit him with a breach, we can basically one-shot him. So that's pretty good right there. And game over. We got hit by that breach, so suddenly that's doing more. But that's okay. This is very doable. That is just fine. Yes, 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 game over, etc. Now, let's move on to the next one. Alright. First off, slow ward. I can probably put away herpetology for the moment. I don't think I have any other wards on, so we'll turn on slow ward. Where is slow ward? There we go. Next, we're going to go for the... I don't know if that thing uses... Okay, we're going to assume it uses resistance. Yeah, that's going to be fine. We're going to go for gloves, too. Improve our power a little bit. And how much health are we getting off the Laura gun? None. Okay, we're going to try going for a vest instead. So there should still be an overall increase in power. A little bit of a decrease in accuracy. Should still be fine. At the same time, though, that is pretty beefy. But we'll see what we need. And now we need to redo our buying and selling. Sorry, I was really... Actually, no, we don't. So let me check something real quick. Yeah, that one was waiting on a worm whisker. The only reason that we need the Orochi is probably going to be for later. We'll probably just end up getting a worm whisker. That's something that you can get out of Farampa at just about any time. The only thing we need that is for Og Dark, which we can then translate into... what's it? Essentially, we can turn this into a maxed out Og Dark, which we can then turn into a maxed out whip finisher. So that could be potentially useful later. For now, it doesn't really do much for us. I need for this. Sorry, I'm just looking over real quick if there's anything that might be useful. Guess we can make a Varangian. We'd be able to use it too. No, let's go ahead and make one. Alright, we need a woods. So for that, well, actually, we're gonna need Radiant first. Alright, so for Radiant, we need Light Crystals. For Light Crystals, we should still need Boulder. No, we just need Purified Ore. So let's sell some stuff. Buy us some Purified Ore. It's a lot cheaper than it used to be. That stuff used to be 2,000 a pop there. Alright. See, one of the nice changes from this one, they just let you go immediately to this. You don't have to go through several different books to go and craft an orb. Which... What's up? What's gone? Well, if the lights are gone, go and turn it on. Yep, you can do it. But yeah, I was routing out that level 1 thing earlier. And, yeah, there's an interesting moment there. Huh? What's wrong with the lights? That's outside. The sun is definitely on. Yeah, please don't try to turn off the sun. We need that. Yeah, we need it for stuff. Turn the lights off? Well, why don't you do that? You know how to do it. Well, do you want them on or off? I want to watch TV, but your show's on over there. I need your McStuffins. Okay. Alright, we can get you some McStuffins. That can be arranged. I need 2 woods. I can find it for you, no problem. Okay. Hang on, I will be right back. give this a quick go here. Technically not maxed out on axes or anything, but what I'm thinking is just kind of go for a breach build here. So we'll see if this this does the trick. And speed it up real quick. This one actually sounds a little bit hilarious while sped up. Right, and breached. Good. Put a phalanx right there just to screw with movement. Yeah, more than likely, once we kind of wrap up with this run, once we continue on the next part, more than likely we're probably going to be starting with Palace of the Dead, because going through that with Priest or Cleric would be much easier than we were doing the first time. Especially because the whole time that we're doing this, we're still getting extra stats and all that. And yeah, so Black Mucus, their bubble move and everything else, definitely a lot less threatening now. Although, my goodness, they're just going to keep throwing out those abilities. Okay, we need to stop staying so close to the water. So first off, put something in the way. Second off, go over here, because I think this is the only tile that's far away enough to not get hit by anything ever. I could be wrong on that. Now, the basic stuff should just bounce off. Yeah, I'm not sure that this ward shield helped us at all. I'd figure a light shield would probably be the way to go. And yeah, with Breach in play, probably should be able to finish off just about anything with a maxed out finisher. We'll see how that goes, though. Just as long as they stop hitting all their attacks, we're good. Alright, we can get this guy gone. Yeah, this is definitely the way to go for now. And yeah, once we get Lord, probably going to be sticking with Axe for a while. Because that's going to be about the strongest damage we can get out of one-handed. Or rather, the easiest, strongest damage we can get out of one-handed. Just because we can get a full scaling finisher while also having a decent one-handed weapon, while also retaining some of our other advantages. Just imagine how easy this would be with Vanilla Phalanx. Honestly, when I was doing the vanilla solo run, Phalanx was pretty worthless. Because all it really did was let you get hit by debuffs over and over. Like, they'd still try, but you couldn't counter while using Phalanx. You can use Mind's Eye and still counter, so that I would argue that the... Please tell me that I saved after doing all that stupid crap. Okay. So first off, we're gonna go for Light Shield here. Actually, no, we're gonna go Light Shield, and then we're gonna go Helmet. Because, yeah, we're putting out plenty of damage without really needing to worry about it. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to this fight here. This is definitely doable. It's just a matter of getting this stable. That's all it is. Because we're borderline at this point. Like, we just need to break through a couple of them. My mistake last time was that I stayed way too close to the water. But yeah, Vanilla Phalanx is good for being just a doorstop for all intents and purposes. Not as good for a solo. Like, I'll have the video out whenever I'm done editing it, but the vanilla solo run basically broke down into a heavy pike build, funnily enough. Where it was heavy, let's see, it was Thanatos Mail. I think it was... Thanatos Mail, Dark Spear. It was basically Dark Og Dragoon. What's up with you? What's up with you, Mr. Man? What are we umming about? Yeah, these? Is this what you were looking for? I do believe you were looking for your num-nums. There you go. You're welcome. Alright. So, I definitely need to remember to pick up some other items here. But, let's see what we can do here. I want to say Mind is what dodges their bubble move. I'm not really certain. Alright, we'll put on dodge for now. But yeah, so final build that I was talking about a little while ago is actually going to be somewhat similar to, I believe, the idea that you have in mind there, which is going to be Mind's Eye plus Evade plus kind of whatever weapons needed at the time, plus Divine. So basically, can evade all regular melee attacks, has Evade for the purposes of blocking finishers outright. Can we use Bear Claw this guy? Yes. And yeah, so functionally immune to almost everything melee-wise, as well as some finisher, or rather, as well as some ranged. And then on top of that, you get the fun bonus of... Wait, what are you doing? No. No. Braxton, sit. Down. You're not following and begging for food. You wait. Alright. Anyway, lost my train of thought, but point being is it's ridiculously good. Right, well, Phalanx, that guy, hopefully give him a bit of an awkward angle if he decides to go for his bubble. Unfortunately, yeah, they're going to hit those all the same. I think it's a 4 or 5 range on those things, so we might not be able to actually get out of it. Let's see. Oh, 3 to 7. Yeah, there's no way in hell we're avoiding that. Aside from maybe a wall of phalanxes, maybe? Not sure. Ow. Child, why are you hitting me with a frisbee? Alright. Our accuracy sucks right now, that's good to know. Despite having some pretty friggin' god-tier agility. Alright, can I just bear claw anyone here? That's not bad. Might as well, we have the opportunity. I know I'm not training up the one that I should be training with that, but... Oh well. Okay. So it's vigorous. It's causing them to dodge so good. And they got the driving hit off, and they're going to hit with that. They're just going to hit with everything. Yeah, that's game right there. Oh! Okay. Oh... Oh, we actually survived that somehow. Alright, I figured that was definitely GG right there, but apparently not so much. I'll move over here. The way that we're setting this up here, we should be able to block off the left entirely. Alright. Oh, hang on just a quick sec here. Alright. And back. So, here's how we're going to do this. We're going to move up here, screw with this movement, throw a phalanx right here. Hopefully cause him to attack, hopefully counter and get a breach. No breach. Okay, he got his breach off, though. So we need a breach and a finisher, and that's all for winning this. Fortunately, they keep landing those low percentage hits. Yeah, that would do 185. That would do about the same. So phalanx right there to block off any further movements. Let's see here. Way back there. You're over there. Okay. Yeah, what I should have done is probably moved back. Yeah, I definitely should have moved back, put the phalanx right there. Because that would cause him to move, take the attack, hopefully take the breach. Actually, technically speaking, can I still do that? phalanx right there. This will make sense in a moment, by the way. So basically, the AI loves to move. It'll automatically try to move, even if it's not necessarily optimal for them, even if it's just a complete wasted movement and all that. It's just, unless, I believe it's just the Vanguard AI, but they will always try to move. But either way, so so he did move. Unfortunately, he didn't try to take the attack. What I was hoping for there is that, yeah, he would try to attack. I'll put you right there. Screw with that guy's movement. We're going to go right here to avoid any finishers, hopefully. Oh, and one moment. Alright, this is definitely about as unideal as it gets right here. If he can get close and get that breach, then we have a 63% chance to just one-shot him. But unfortunately, all of their hitting through low percent odds begs to differ. And they got a leaden off, so that's probably going to be game, set, match right there. Yeah, she's still hitting consistently. He doesn't care about odds. Ah, for crap's sake. Would die to 40%. Okay. So. Build is mostly good. However, we probably want to go for that heavy armor again. Except, like, the tank set, not, anything else. So that, if we go for full tank here, what we're going to get is a really high damage threshold for the most part. This won't necessarily help too much. Let's see, how much is Baldur giving us? 12. I mean, this is only 4 defense and 40. 40 health is the bigger one there, but it is 2 less speed, so we're not going to go for that. What we can go for, though, is slightly lower defense for damage reflect. And actually, reflecting against the caster would probably be the stronger option. I'm trying to think. I think the bubbles still count as physical. So we're gonna put a spike shield on there. Should we mention that, yeah, we're not maxed out as far as axes are concerned. But well. That's fine. We'll put on sidestep. Works. Let's put you here. I just want to focus them down one at a time. If we can get rid of at least 2 octopi by the time everybody else arrives, we should be good. The Purify users should be 2 turns out. Prevent this guy from escaping, at least. There we go. So there's no need to attack him further. If he makes one more attack, he's toast. So might as well go drop a finisher on somebody else. Yeah, okay, their stuff does count as physical. So we can just slowly wear this one down. This is literally the only time this would ever be useful. Alright, yeah, we'll lock you in place. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can just lure them one by one around this corner. Also, not sure how that boulder throw has an angle on me, but oh well. And we're just gonna keep speeding it up. Oh yeah? Can we get to their Purify user somehow? Yeah, probably if we put a Phalanx here, work our way around the corner, we'll probably get blocked out by the Octopus. But it's getting us in the right direction. I cannot possibly clarify enough that it's not necessarily that the Spike Shield's super amazing or anything, but I mean, it's going to do the job in this case. Alright, good. Phalanx right there, you right here. Stanoska can't move. He's got to attack, he's going to want to go for his Empowers. He's got some pretty good range on him, so he's probably going to be able to at least get one of them off. That was also hitting us pretty hard last time. Yeah, that should be checkmate right there. We might have to call this the Checkmater build. I've got half bar, not gonna be enough. It's fine. We'll sit here and heal until it is. Almost. Alright, 329, just a little bit more, so we need one more turn and we got this. Drop one right there for safety, just so he doesn't try to slip away. Whoa, what's wrong? Alright, and 77%. Nice. Friggin' kapowed the guy. And yes, axes can be crazy strong. Now for this one, we're not actually going to want to go knights anymore. What we do want to go for is one of these, though. Thinking Dragoon. Going for two-handers, going for... Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on, guys? What's going on? Alright, we'll just save... Oh, crap. That's actually a good thing that I did that. Because I want to actually give him equipment. Alright, so we just want to go as defensive as possible. See if we can replace Slow Ward with Og Water as well. So, hopefully, if all goes well here, we should be able to finish off a few things before we ever go up there. The idea is to finish off anything that we can kind of one-shot down here. With our scaling, especially if they do stuff like this, we should be able to do some pretty gigantic sweeps. I didn't bring any strengthens along, which I really should have. But yeah, most of the stuff that just charges you early on, you can usually just wipe them. Right. Well, that would have been a pretty clean sweep there. Can hit that guy pretty good, though. Maybe we want to hit with something like this. No, no, no. Alright. I'm just going to go for this instead. We'll worry about getting cards and things later. Basically what we need is Hanzo over there. Yeah, their healers are probably going to be pretty busy healing, so I'm going to go ahead and drop the strength in here. Go ahead and put this on. Nice. Yeah, so we've got full bar now. We still got strength in. Whoa, buddy! What? What? Hang on, one sec. Alright, yeah, this should be pretty well easy. Because we already know that we can one-shot him with strength in there. Really, I just need to finally get some plumes. I never seem to get those. No real sense in wasting that ginseng either. Them suckers are expensive. Just kind of figured we'd need to bum rush there as soon as possible, which we still do. It's just... It honestly doesn't make too much of a difference if we do it this way or not. We're still getting there in about the same amount of time. Case in point. Oh, you... That was just dickish. I think we got hit by a stagger. Let's move here. Move to about here, take a heal. We don't have strength this time around. Although that's my fault for not hitting it earlier, and unfortunately they are just getting everything through here. Alright, good. This is still workable. It's no longer workable. That's fine. This is doable. I just need to hit the thing, because I forgot to push the numbers. Yeah, it's funny how some of the story scaling is going. Like, right now it's scaling up, but certain other fights didn't scale up at a higher level. Makes sense, makes sense. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and put strength in up early. Hopefully they won't go for anything to dispel it. I don't think they have any forward forward fencers that can do that. Right. Good, there we go. Now that they have a unit that took damage, they usually won't bother with dispelling. I'm gonna think about, why don't I just use Siege here? Right, and then we'll put True Strike on as well. Should put us in a far better position. This way we're not taking as much damage when it does come through. We're putting out much more consistent damage to build up the bar faster. Good, 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 good. They're not healing their chicken. We might have to... No, they are. Okay. I was going to say we might actually have to carve our way through that chicken. We should be able to just avoid it outright. Should have an almost full bar from that. In fact, we might be... No, we just got blocked. Right, 545, 388. You know what? It's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Because honestly, even if they heal that, that's it's going to be a pretty decent amount of damage to their team. Plus, it'll put them on the back foot for a while. Plus, there really wasn't too much better of a move that I could have done there. And they all keep focusing on the wrong guy, so this works out pretty well. I'll just throwing little heals on their healer. Or on their leader. And if I'm looking at this right, we should... Did it just do this? Slightly off. Worth a shot. It had a chance to hit. And game over because we're petrified. Alright, let's do that again. I like that setup, though. That works. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, I don't think... Yeah, I don't think the random number seed is decided when you're in the menu yet. Hey there, child. Thank you for the random change that you got from somewhere. Alright, where's that True Strike at? Might have to do a little bit of auto grinding for money after a certain point. Like to get through the post game, I think we're gonna need to max out more stuff. Augs for sure, because we're a bit behind the curve on those. I mean, not for the normal game or anything, but in terms of where I'd like to be. Thank you for not rolling a Petrify. Ooh, that is a lot of damage. Alright, so we can't just completely nuke this place. Or, we can try to do a breakthrough. Auto-grinding, is that how David Carradine died? Yeesh. Dark. Didn't that turn out to be a murder, though? Because I know that at first they were saying that it was like autoerotic asphyxiation or whatever, but I thought, yeah, I thought that turned out to be like you got killed by the maid or something. Okay. Let's do this thing again. Hopefully this time with more actually hitting the guy on that 67%. Yeah, a lot of these, it's kind of, I don't know what you'd call them. I always just called the bum rush section, but a lot of these fights just pretty much involve getting close to the leader and one-shotting him. That's what I was originally getting the Dragon Slayer for, but I guess with breach strats and everything else, we might not really need it. Now that I think about it, is there even a point to? I guess once we get priest and everything else up to where they need to be, I mean, once we get some nice claws, once we actually have a full setup going. Oh, I just looked up number involved. Okay. Well, it was at the very least accidental. I'm fairly certain on that one, because again, weren't they saying it was like that whole thing where somebody's basically, shall we say, polishing the sausage while choking themselves out? I mean, whatever people are into, I guess. It's just, some hobbies are more dangerous than others. Yeah, pretty sure we're just Petra dead here. They might be saying, why don't you have Stone Ward on? And it's because. Exactly because. Also, I don't think we actually have space for it. Also, hang on, that's temporarily annoying, so let's turn that off. Because basically, we have CD two-handers, we need this for that max damage, we need this for defense, we need Aug Water because it boosts our melee damage, we need Tac 2 for building up meter, Dragonfly for getting up the walls, Aug Light for, you know, its whole thing. We're basically getting 40% extra off Grand Cross for that. Counter Hit, obviously, because it's counter hit and it's amazing. Siege for getting immunity to Rampartor and Fortify. Then again, it is getting rid of one move. Forgot about that. If we just put Steadfast instead, that might not be a bad idea. Alright, let's try that. Might be a better build. So correct, it was accidental. He was into that type of stuff, which was very dangerous. I think it was a tie on a doorknob. Again, I mean, whatever works for people. Different strokes for different folks, just a bit more literal in that case. Uh-oh. Alright, let's try this again. Strength, worst case scenario, well, what is this, Dragoon? We can always go for an Axe build, if nothing else works. Though realistically, like, Axe is kind of taking the two-hander approach and then just making it a bit slower but potentially more effective. Fortify. Okay. Yeah, this PS4 controller is weird. Like, just the way that it's set up in general. I don't know why it's practically semi-randomizing some buttons every now and then. Kind of feels like the whole Xbox situation there. Like with the 360 controllers, where it occasionally will screw up which triggers are which. But, well. We'll do that, then we'll put on Strengthen. I'm thinking if I don't put Strengthen in round 1, then maybe they won't build up as much meter to give as many problems. Whoa! Mr. Sounding like a train, what's going on? What's yours? What? The doggy's right there. I don't know what the issue is, Captain Conniptions. That's fine. That's very fine. If I can get close and throw out a, uh-oh. Yeah, this one's probably a toast attempt just because I never got the opportunity to throw out True Strike. For some reason I went for Sidestep instead. Not a very good move. Right, there's that. If I can just get it... Nope. Also, I don't really know why I never move him over here. Just do that. Alright. So, let's do True Strike first. That's fine. It's perfectly fine. In fact, I think it's even... Yeah, I think it's completely respawning... No, it's not respawning the map. If you're wondering, by the way, what the deal is with being able to jump so friggin' far, as kind of a reference to FFT, the Dragoon has pretty awesome jump height. So, truth be told, I can probably take off Dragonfly entirely, but it's just a really good move for getting past that wall there and keeping everybody else behind. Because they all climb down to get to you, and then you can just run away. Alright, there we go. Stone Ward and then jump one instead of Dragonfly. That should do it. Should do it real good. Alright. So same setup as before. Get strength up, then do True Strike, and then just get close to the guy, and then from there it's just RNG. See, what we could do is reset up that build, come back again on a day that it's not raining, but truth be told, the rain's definitely harming them more than me in this case. I've got a got some pretty decent accuracy. If I went for something that wasn't a heavy two-hander, like once we get the other two-hand options, I'm sure we'll do a bit better. This one is one of the inaccurate ones, but oh well. Let's get that judgment going. Nice. Okay, that's good. Double nice. Can't be petrified, so get out here with that. Could potentially just quick and dirty this. Let's see. Dead. Or we can get one of the chickens out of here. You know what? Let's get 3 pigeons instead. It might be strong or something. Alright, let's go over here. There's going to be 2 MP cards up there. Nothing we really need. Yeah, the amount of parry this attempt has been pretty unreal. I guess it was bound to fail eventually, but yeah, that was awesome. And actually, you know what? Now that we know that he's going to jump all the way down there, we really might as well just stay at the bottom. Because as long as we're only being attacked from 2 sides, we're probably pretty well okay. But yeah, I'm definitely loving how much of a carry class the Dragoon's been in both versions. Just loving that. Though, again, really glad to see that the so far with that level 1 run that the Rune Fencer's actually having a decent opportunity. It's just, I always love when there's classes that generally aren't very super amazing in the base game, but then you know they just end up shining in weird challenge runs. That's always my favorite part. Like, I remember doing this kind of base challenge run of FFTA forever ago. Ended up using archers so much, despite the fact that they were generally kind of on the low tier in terms of the game normally. Now let's go for a big old boom here. Parry. Nice. Unfortunately, Mighty still... What in... Hang on. You know, I don't know if I ever made this joke before, but yeah, this town is protected by Fox News, apparently. This guy's over here like, oh man, all the people are gonna come from the borders and friggin' eat our families. They're coming. They're totally coming. Now donate to, like, despite the fact that everybody's technically Catholic, just go ahead and just donate to friggin' all these things that are kind of fake charities. Yeah, that's the best way to do it now. Who wants to talk about how scared we are of the rest of the world? There we go. Yeah, I think if we take out the chickens, we're solid here. They're literally the only thing that's taking us out repeatedly and consistently. We took our gerbs, yeah, pretty much. God, yesterday, one of the folks was messing around with the radio and put on some conservative talk show or whatever else. And yeah, friggin' coronavirus hits there. They, in New York, I should say. And so, okay, so people are doing the same panicking crap they've done everywhere else. And so this lady's like, oh my god, it was liberal policies that caused people to panic. Like, lady, this crap's happening everywhere. Stop trying to make it into politics. And, like, every time that somebody would even give them the slightest pushback, they just got on this long tirade of how much they hated Obama. Like, it... Oh, it was so stupid. It's so stupid. There's not even a logic behind it. It's just like, nope. Gotta hate this group. Everything's their fault. Doesn't matter how little sense it makes. It's totally their fault 100% of the time. Stubbed my toe this morning. Must be Obama. I mean, like, obviously that meme was around for a reason, but god dang. It's stupid. It's really stupid. It kind of sucks because the whole point, like, the whole point of it is just to give somebody influence. Just because they can't really think of another angle to get it, I guess. At this point, they're just so committed to it, they're just kind of just going for it, and that's it. Honestly, the main reason that I'm salty about it was having the same discussion with the guy that put on that station there. It's like, politics are politics. I used to... On paper? Like, when I was first finding out what all these, you know, different politics and crap were, like, okay, so here's what all of these things claim to believe, and I'm looking at the conservative side of things, like, okay, so technically the whole belief system here is just like, you want everything to just stay sustainable, want to not waste resources, want to be just like a cheap, grumpy bastard, and like, hey, that's exactly me. I love being a cheap, grumpy bastard. And yeah, then was listening to all that stuff when I was over in New Mexico, and then like, I was living in Albuquerque at the time, and yeah, sure enough, they're going on about this whole thing, like, oh man, look, here's these thousands of people literally pouring over in droves into New Mexico. Oh man, it's a complete invasion. They have people at gunpoint in the streets. And I'm looking around, it's like, this is a perfectly normal day, and we kind of live in the ghetto here, so... What? Like, what the hell is this guy talking about? And this continued for a couple years, and then it just kind of clicked in my brain, like, oh, this is freaking propaganda. Yes, it took me a while, but still, it was kind of screwy to see that. And then you still see people going through that same journey every now and then. I was like, oh yeah, you know, totally believe in this one thing, and then it's like, oh yeah, it's kind of not what they're actually doing. What's up, Mr. Mans? Oh yeah? Alright, almost, very almost here. Come on, roll another parry, and we're good. Okay, we've got a full bar. Turn's coming up. I don't know who's next. Alright, this is gonna be a range. Yeah, that's gonna be a nope. Might as well make it an awesome nope. There's a very stupid way for this to potentially succeed, but this is probably gonna be an instant game over. Actually, you know what? Speaking of weird, like weird allegedly conservative stuff, there was like, not to talk on politics. I'm just talking about like, here is dumb person that did dumb thing. Does anybody remember back? What was it, like 12 years ago now? Like when there was the first Obama election, and they were legit trying to use Bible quotes to try to claim that if Obama was elected, the world would end. And this wasn't even conspiracy hour or any of this other crap. It was literally like prime, friggin' like prime in the afternoon. Several other people were doing it, just like, no, just friggin' world ends, because he's, you know, the black guy, so that's just gonna break everything. Man. It's just kind of amazing that made it to air. You'd think somebody would have gotten fired over that, but no, they just leaned straight into it. And like, no, it's technically on our side, so that works. Oh my goodness, everything is vigorous attack. So I should point out, this fight, technically speaking, is harder than it should be. Where'd you get this, Mr. Man? Where'd you get this? Trade you for this? You're welcome. But yeah, so technically speaking, this fight is being harder than it should be, because of the, ooh, can we big boom this? Is he gone? Almost gone anyway. Oh yeah, we just gotta wait for this to line up, more or less, so it's gonna do that and hope for the best. But anyway, yeah, so birds aren't supposed to have vigorous attack, is the thing. It's supposed to be exclusive to the fighters there, which are not supposed to be on birds at all. And it's one of those things that you kind of notice once this goes on for a little while. Because suddenly it's like, oh yeah, this heavy frontline buff is flying through the air. Because that the original vigorous attack just gave everybody Sure Strike, which could still be parried. Granted, this can also still be parried, but it also gives them dodge, and tends to be a lot more noticeable because it's pretty cheap. The original was almost comically expensive, and yeah, could be dispelled. Well, actually, no, I don't think it could be dispelled. I don't remember. That's gonna be a thing to figure out later. But either way, it shouldn't be much longer. We just got this, and then we got Heim. Actually, no. What's after this one? I think it is Heim after this one. So yeah, this is the town right before going in. Don't know why I'm looking for the card that I already know. I'm gonna get that judgment in there. Yeah, what's up? You sure about that? Yeah, I see. Alright. Are you sure about that? Alright. Just got the full bar. And we just gotta get a thing on that guy. What's going on? That's annoying, but we should have a chance to win this in just a sec. Yep, very close, but we'll get there. Like I said, the main reason that this is being hard right now is those birds with that ability there. If we can potentially get a second turn, though, kind of over on the right side here, just nuke the chickens and then move on from there, then we should be good. Because it's literally just stone circle because of how accurate it is, so... Almost gone, yes gone, okay, just do that. There we go, there's the first one. Perfect. We're getting there. Let's see if we're at high enough health to still pull this off. Because we should be able to kaboom this right now. Alright, not even going to look at the numbers. We're just going to go for it. Alright, close. Got another Vit card. Really appreciate it if that didn't hit. I think that hitting probably sealed this. That too. Yeah, he just barely survives. And that's pretty much max power as far as that thing goes. What we can do is go for Vest here, though. See how that does. And if that doesn't work, then we're just gonna go for Vest and Leggings. So the main thing there is that, yeah, we were very slow, and we were, I like to call this the Guardsman build, because you're getting a nice mix of defense and mobility. But yeah, if we, can push through with this, we should be alright. This should give a nice mix of being able to avoid stuff and being able to tank stuff. In fact, might as well sit here and fight a few things if we're going to do that. The point of the heavy armor build was to be able to push through and get to the leader, which we can do, but Grand Cross is about 10 health off from being able to finish him, and so we need a Sonic Blade. Unfortunately, it's not very likely that it's lining up that way. We've had a few opportunities, but even up to 77, still decided to miss. So it's fine. We'll just do it this way. Should be able to kaboom these chickens. Yeah, just boom the chickens. Yeah, that'll definitely do the trick. And now we can go over here. Oh, for crap's sake. 25% through the rain with knockback. Part of the running forward is because I don't want Strengthen to run out. That would have been nice if that hit. Unfortunately, we don't have True Strike active. This two-hander is super inaccurate. Alright, good. That gave us points. Come on, please, 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 let us move. And we got our 50%. The odds exist. Okay, 40%. Come on, roll it. You suck. Yeah, I know. Why'd you shove him in the window? Get him out of there. Get him out of there. Those are Ucky now. So I think that'll do it. I think that will be the build to do it. The one way that we could boost its damage even farther, actually I guess technically two ways. One of the fortresses has, either we could get Jewelry 3 or Jewelry 4. Those are essentially going to boost up either two-handers or our light aug by a few levels. The light choker would be the best option, just because it also innately gives about a 30% bonus to light, so we'd essentially be just running around light nuking things at that point. But yeah, we'll see if we do that. That's again one of those things I want to just save for later. Save for part 2 of the run. We're getting pretty close to wrapping this one up. I'm really, like, I know that I'm going to want to go through and really study every part of Chapter 4 after that. Just for all kinds of future runs and things like that, so it would be really cool to be able to see that. Okay, this is going to be a really low % chance. Just do it. Thank you! There we go. Rest comes at last. Exactly. The 25%, the lowest chance this entire time, is the one that does it. Lovely. Alright. On to Heim. So there's a few fights. On the left side here, we've got dragons, and I believe it is a fencer that's guarding it. Over here we've got a knight. Over here we've got a beast tamer. Beast tamer is the easiest to fly to. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And I think we'll go... Yeah, we'll go heavy armor, wing boots, two-hander. Realistically... Oh, I love this theme, though. Realistically, I'm just going to use save states at this point. There's probably going to be a wasted flight. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, this one's leader likes to run forward. Come on, attack. She went backwards. Or no, she didn't, actually. Whoa! Guys, what? Yeah, this attempt's gonna go badly. Fairly certain, anyway. Unless their leader just randomly decides to run up and attack. I mean, she's within range. That's fine. Yeah, we'll try this one more time. I think what I actually need to do is go back and buy buff items. I was going to try to do this without strengthen. We'll see. Actually, interestingly, the fight after this was one of the ones that was giving an absolute ton of trouble in the level 1 run. Because normally with high ranks and things like that, you can get past defenses pretty okay, even with basic weapons there, but wasn't quite the case for the level 1 run. The knight there, without a bunch of buffs, they were basically doing nothing. What are you goofuses doing? Sit down. Sit down. Yeah, what are odds anyway? Just keep hitting that 25%. So yeah, for this one, she's usually really well protected by her dragons. So See if we can just get close here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Do that. Hopefully she'll attack.
Oh, whoa!
No, she wants her other side. Okay, if we get a turn, we should be able to win this. Might take 2 turns, but we should have the means. So if we do Grand Cross, then they should be more focused on healing. Right. The odds are low, but they're there. They're gone. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna go get those buff items. See, the main difference there was Strengthen. Because Strengthen you can set up before going in, everything else you can't. It's armor-wise, I know we have at least 1 vest to sell. Yeah, we can go get rid of that. Should be all we need there. And do we have a True Strike? Yeah. There we go. Now we should be good to go. Alright, wing boots, vest, unless we want to go for something like this. That does not... maybe if we went for nomads. It would take an absolute crap load of damage, but that is a lot of accuracy and a lot of, yeah, screw it. Absolute glass cannon setup. Alright, let's see if I space this out right. I think this should be one range out of their Dispel. Because the Cleric should walk backwards unless... yeah. Unless they've got direct access there, they should walk backwards. So I need to do Strengthen on that one next time, because there probably will be a next time here. I mean, if we're light enough, there's always the possibility we might just get immediately... or we might immediately get a chance to throw out the finisher here. No, there she goes. Rude. Alright. Alright, so Stone Ward isn't helping us here. What might? Axes might not be a terrible idea, because we're getting full Light Aug off that. Wouldn't scale the finisher as well, but that would give us more defense to work with. Let's try it. So we can get the Varangi in then. Yeah, this is one janky looking build, but that might work. Alright, and then instead of... let's see. We can try Rampart 1. I don't think that'll help much. Siege, I suppose? Oh! Well, I mean, that's the obvious answer, isn't it? Alright, let's do this thing. I mean, Strength and Dragon Slayer should be almost hilariously overpowered, so... Alrighty, dude guy up there is a bit of a douche, but oh well. Theoretically, if we were to get the breach off from the first swing, we should be pretty well solid here. That's all we need is a finishers after that. And we have found a maraca, apparently. Oh, that is going to be a headache later. Alright, so here's the idea. Since it seems to be a really high chance of raining on this map, we're going to try to just tank our way through it. Also, wait a minute. That's a slowing axe, isn't it? No, it's a breacher. Okay. Wonder why she was trying to use Unburden there. Weird. So you got the slime virus from the DQ slime plushie. I mean, other people just say hi, but that works too. How's it going, Gamma? So, I mean, if you... Does that make you a slimy? I'm fine, but my monitor broke. Well, you can get a new lizard. You just gotta go travel to Africa or wherever they live. Oh, for crap's sake. Everything just keeps critting. Yeah, pretty sure this attempt is toast. I mean, in most cases, I can almost guarantee that this particular strategy won't work. But it's worth a try, you know? I wanted to at least see how well it could go. So, you know, with virus around, no one wants to order anything or get close to this place? Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, I ordered my, I forgot if I mentioned this, but a little while ago I was ordering my, my brother some stuff for his birthday and all that. And, yeah, tried to, here, actually, let's do this. See if this works out. I tried to order him whiskey and hand sanitizer, which, yeah, it turns out whiskey is like 20 bucks a frickin' bottle, so no. And second of all, tried to order the whiskey there, and I was telling him about it because it was apparently the shipment was having some screwiness. I was like, yeah, just don't ship me anything. Really shouldn't be shipping anything. I forget if they said for sure, but I think it's been mentioned that that supposedly it wouldn't actually have any effect at this point, but or the stuff coming in the mail shouldn't be able to carry it, but I'm not sure. Couldn't tell you for sure. So unfortunately, the AI decided to go a different route this time. What's up, Mr. Man? Yeah, what's up? Yes? Yeah, he can't decide what he's doing right now. He's just over here, like, hugging my chair for some reason. What you doing, Mr. Mans? You being a goof? Alright, I'm gonna try to wingling this thing. Yeah, exactly, chair is fun. Chair is good. Good to be chair. Also, there's 50% that hit 100% of the time, naturally. Chair's new dad's leg. Yeah, and everyone thinks they know wrestling moves until they've had a toddler. It's like they will find new ways to grapple your leg and make you trip. It's pretty impressive, actually. Come on, attack. Didn't get the breach. Almost maxed scalar here, not really doing it. See, if the breach had hit, this would be the end right there. If by some miracle we managed to act first... Oh, my goodness, what happened? What's wrong? Alright, we have randomly decided that we did not want to hug chair, and instead need to hug dog. Hog decided, or, not hog, dog decided that, no, he was going to go lay down. We got mad. We got mad at dog. Toddler life is interesting life, is the best way we're going to put that. I was talking the other day, I was like, the only thing consistent about these kiddos is that they're really inconsistent. One day they like a food, the next day they don't. You know. Toddler life. Toddler life is interesting. so can definitely confirm that random seed is not set when you enter the fight, or when you just open up the menu. So we can definitely redo fights from the loadout screen. That's good to know. All right, we take the heal at this point. Unfortunately, it seems like a unit, or rather, team comp might be though. Alright, Nomad Gloves, where's that luck bonus you're giving us? Would really like some of this stuff to miss, please. Anything? Nice, if that had just been a breach. Once again, this would have been checkmate right here. Well, actually, Guardian Force might have fixed it. The only reason that I'm just leaving it like this is in the very, very vain hope that maybe, just maybe, that 10% chance happens that nothing hits us. Ooh. Ooh. No. Just slightly too low. If we had like 10 more health, that would have been possibly a win there. Managed to roll the 12% and everything. I should point out, all this stuff is without strength and active. Which unfortunately we have no means to turn on right now without turning over to the White Knight, and we're just not going to do that. Because yeah, we only have a couple of uses of that left, and yeah. Oh yeah? Why'd you bring this? Why'd you bring that? You're done. So you... Okay. Hang on, I'm gonna be right back. It appears I have stepped away for a moment and dead happened. That's not a good prize. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm going for this build here, I don't know if I actually explained it. Obviously, I mean, the wing boot part is obvious. If I were to use City Ring, it wouldn't let me get past Rampart Auras without Siege, which would then also require losing a tile of movement. I actually never realized that it did that. So, yeah, that's why Siege was given that Fortify buff. Apparently that whole losing a tile of movement thing is just baked into the game, so not really anything that can be done about that. And really weird that for, you know, such a very specific skill that they would throw that in there. Like, you'd still lose a tile of movement. See, the way that I always read that, because the original description was kind of confusing, But the way that I always read it was, it said something along the lines of like you gain immunity to rampart aura, but lose one tile of movement instead. Now the way that I read that was, okay, so you lose your, or rather you become immune to the thing, but when you're walking into Rampart's aura, it takes you one extra tile to move through that, which is how they handled Wade, so that makes sense. That's how water movement goes, so I'm not really sure why they didn't just do that. Like, I assume it was probably originally meant to be that way, and then they realized that they couldn't assign it to that because it technically wasn't, or they probably would have had to create different tiles every time that a Rampart aura character moved, or something like that. So my assumption is that probably it was something like that. But I can only assume. So basically what has to happen, for the sake of this one to win, for one, those 30% need to stop frickin' landing. But for another, she has to decide to attack, has to get a breach, and then we just run up and finish. There's really no sense in making it any more complicated than that. We're getting pretty much all our points built up till that point. They're wasting their time on dispels. She just has to decide to attack. But unfortunately, more often than not, she's going for the heal here instead. If we somehow get a turn before she can do anything else, maybe there's still a way to do it. As long as our way isn't blocked. Which it more often than not is. Okay. Can't hit with that. That's not going to do it. But yeah, that would be enough to finish if we could theoretically hit. Might end up putting in Rampart Aura just kind of because here. Alright. Are we going to get a turn? No, we're still getting a turn before the Tamer. It's possible. This is still possible. You dick! Of course you'd hit a 40% at that point. Because, yeah, we were getting a turn before the Tamer. Would have been I'm fairly certain it would have been a guaranteed hit. But yeah, so the Nomads will give us additional accuracy in the situation, as well as giving additional luck. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how that luck is quite working at this point. Or ever. Luck is kind of a mysterious stat. Nobody knows what it does. I mean, it theoretically affects crits, theoretically affects other rolls. I'm still of the opinion that it flips luck for all intents and purposes, because you do start seeing those situations where really high rolls stop working, really low rolls start working. It's kind of janky. I don't know. Like, I just consider it the chaos stat, but in theory, it's really helpful. Okay, we got the breach. Is this gonna be it? Not quite. We didn't get all of our attacks in earlier. But if we build up enough points, we should still be able to win this. Get that dispel out of here. This is a definite maybe. Oh, you son of a dick. It still would have been possible with possibly a normal hit, possibly a crit. But unfortunately, that guy decided to hit us 40%, because of course... Thanks, RNGesus. Lucky is 30, right? How do those 30s keep hitting? And again, I want to clarify that these odds are different every single time we're going through. The number seed is not set. Those archers are hitting in different orders and everything. Luck really is chaos if you think about it. It's just the opposite side of the same coin. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Sounds about right. What? Both 30%'s missed? Hell was that? And the 45% parry actually rolled that time. Though realistically, that parry doesn't need to roll. In fact, I'm almost better off taking parry off the list for this one. It helps to survive a second round if we need to. Like right now... Okay, she got the breach. Yeah, I can't see that far ahead in the turn order. We should theoretically be able to move faster than her. We got the breach, we're going to be surrounded. And he's going to hit it. Yeah. If abilities hit you, it doesn't build up any meter, though. If that gets all the way up to 300, we might be able to still do it. As long as she doesn't move, she's going to move right before us. And getting a heal. If she attacks, gets parried, then we have a shot. Except she moved to the one tile we can't reach. Boy. Alright, controller, wake up. Thank you. Alright. If we move here, as long as we don't get hit by an archer, so we'd move right here. We move right before she does. As long as we don't get hit by an archer, we're good. Or, you know, that. Okay. That's fine. We got this. We got this. Theoretically, I could try squeezing through the right side, possibly stay just out of range of Dispel. Right now, running a Dragoon, which only gets Rampart 1. So it prevents stuff from running around you, but it doesn't really prevent anything from running away from you. Rampart 3 is around the point that you can start locking everything down. Attack, now they're going for the heal. Let's get the slow off. Somebody else is going to show up and try to heal her out of that. But the damage should already be done. She should be slightly slower than us. I'm thinking theoretically, if we just get a second turn to do a finisher, maybe something will happen. Alright, let's try going for evasion and lighter weight then. Alright, this should be within range of their Dispel, but I'm going to try it anyway. So yeah, Breach and Strengthen, I'm pretty sure a Bear Claw would be enough to do it. It's because I moved over to the right. They just have different aggro ranges, basically. Tamer moved over that way. Let's use a Hobble. They seem to like prioritizing getting rid of Hobble. Alright, yeah, we are going to want to move forward. Yeah, this one is completely boned. Just go ahead and reset it. Could go for Spike Shield. Might delay some of their healing somewhat. Could go for Spear. Alright. Well, that sucks in the real life suck, man. But yeah, do the good lucks. Best of happenings. Trying to see if I have anything that gives a human bonus. Controller. Thank you. My controller ain't responding. Thank you, Microsoft. Dude. Microsoft, stop trying to do your own thing and just let my controller exist. Thank you. Alright. Do we do the ward? See, the ward would basically turn all of those 30s down to 1s from the casters, but put evasion back down to 137. If we put this and made it into leggings, we'd lose some accuracy, but we'd get that evasion back up. One for this, and then one for the crucibles. Then we should have a nice mix of both. We're still losing the attack, but we're not losing the avoidance. Except those are also leg guards, so no. Okay. Go heavy flyer, I guess. No, we could go flying in helmet. Also, by the way, Josh, what were you saying what to? I'm afraid I missed what you were talking about there. Driving cut gives 2, scales off lightning. So we've got that on hand. Two-handed swords can become something else. Could pick up Draconology, possibly. I mean, we could do Rampart 1. It would... There's a small thing where it might help. I mean, Slayer's not a bad thing to have. We don't really need jump 1 here, because we already jump higher than most of the rest of the map allows. Could do Squash, actually. In fact, you know what? Squash is probably the answer here. Because we just... Yeah, if we go within two tiles, she goes over near a bush, we punch the bush out of the way, and then go deal with it that way. Okay. We have us a new plan. Let's do this thing. They can't let us into the castle. Well, I mean, technically speaking, as long as you never open the gate, what the hell are we gonna do? Nothing's what. Alright. So their cleric's at the front this time, so going to the side won't make much of a difference. As you can see, their party layout changes every time that we do this. I think side cleric would have been better, but oh well. I mean, a cleric's a cleric in this particular context, but for the most part, they're going to have different builds. And I know I've explained it before, but generally speaking, when a map is being spawned, the way that it works is it's got a list of units. It's like, okay, here's every single tile, every single unit that can potentially spawn in this map. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and spawn, like, okay, we have say we can spawn 12 dudes. And so it'll Just randomly pick 12 of them, put them in their respective tiles, and that's how it starts the game. So what am I going to do? I'm actually going to squash this one first. Whoa. Alright, yeah, I thought something was happening. The kiddos are just playing with a ball. There we go. He moved, so she shouldn't move to heal him. I would hope. What a weird choice. She's supposed to be in power. Right, that doesn't just do silence anymore. Okay. Please breach. No breach. Okay. Actually, out of curiosity, did I have the points for Dragon Slayer? Totally did. How much does that do? Not enough. Still a pretty sweet number, though. Best part is, this is the easy one. So technically speaking, this would have, like, actual story-wise, this really should be the last 3 fights of the game. Like, this is kind of where the main plot ends, and then kind of the secondary plot takes over, and then from there, it's just all loose ends that kind of happen to form another 4 chapters. But yeah. Yeah, for those unaware of how the plot goes, there's essentially one guy that's caused a lot of the problems in the course of the story, and he is hiding inside this castle here. It's the biggest one. It's got 3 layers to it, so you've got this outer wall that we're getting through now. Lore-wise, the way that it's explained in March of the Black Queen, as far as how and why everybody's able to get past all these castle walls, is simply because every army's got flyers in it, so technically speaking, while they have walls and they get to keep most things out, if somebody manages to... Well, they basically have to do the whole stereotypical... Thank you for hitting me for 25%. They have to do the whole stereotypical fantasy, we gotta fight outside thing in this universe, simply because if they let them inside, theoretically, I guess they would get overwhelmed by birds. Like, it's... I guess the idea is implied that the people on the ground are protecting the ones on the very top from getting sniped by arrows, so that their arrows can take out the birds, because over the course of the story, all the flyers are scared of arrows, even if they're, well, kind of ironically the best archers. But either way, I think they were thinking more in terms of how it should work rather than how it actually does. Please miss, thank you. But either way, you know, the idea is supposed to be that they can just fly in, get the gate open. Or say with me, you could buy termites, yes. The best answer to stone walls. Thank you, March of the Black Queen, you make so much sense. They're just like, no, they're just like little termites with little tiny sticks of dynamite on their back. Alright, rolling his parries. So, let's see, and why wouldn't the defensive heavily utilize flying units themselves? I mean, if we're playing One Vision, it's because they've got lower stats. Also, I think it's just because they're mostly treated like absolute garbage for some reason. You'd really think they would run this universe, but... Actually, I want to say somewhere I remember reading, because they had a slow breeding rate or something. Honestly, I don't know. I don't think they ever explained that one. It's like, it's funny because especially in the base game, it's an absolute mystery. Why on earth the lizards and the birds haven't actually taken over? Because flight is hands down the strongest ability in this game, and, you know, by the fact that these boots are freaking the answer to so many fights. But yeah, I don't know. They never explained why they never took over, and it's... In the case of the lizards, I think it's mostly just a language thing, because they try to say that they're kind of dumb and all that. Which is weird, because then they give them a wizard class. Anyway, Boy. Man, my nose is bugging me. We got this weird thing where it's perfect spring weather outside, but, just got this unfortunate little breeze coming through that always gives me the sniffles. But yeah. Canopus needs to get busy. It's weird, for all of his talk of being busy all the time, you never really see him actually ever get paired up with anybody. Kind of weird how that goes. I mean, I guess same goes for a lot of the characters. There's actually very few implied pairings in the story. It's like, I know there's Sistina and Folkert, although it's implied that she doesn't actually like him. He's just kind of stalkery. There's... Please, miss. Thank you. Alright, this setup is viable right now. So she can't really move. I need to get a breach off. If I go right here, she should hopefully attack and back up. I should take a turn to heal. Puts us at about 300. Most of them only have ranged abilities, which shouldn't be able to get through. If any of them crit and break through, and oh, for crap's sake, yeah, there's a tremendous shot right there. Okay, fantastic. Never mind, that plan just went out the window. Should have just stayed where I was. Now she can definitely get back to her team. So much for that idea. Yeah, that sucks. I should have checked. And see, that's the thing. This would be going so much easier if I just checked this stuff. But there's so many factors that it really just makes sense to just take the turn when it comes and hope that the plan has some semblance of working. I mean, we have low enough speed, or high enough speed, rather, that this could still work. Please? Please, game, be nice. Oh, you dick. Of course, you'd have enough movement to get there. This is no longer viable, because we're dead. Being dead makes doing things difficult. Stick that on a t-shirt. Once again, we do the same plan. Yeah, this one's going to come down to RNG. A lot of these leader assassination ones are just going to be like this. And you might say that's a really boring and optimized approach to it. That's not how you usually do stuff, and this is true. This is true. But in the case of a solo run, there's very few ways around that, because the opposite approach would just be to drag every fight out into a kiting match, trying to assassinate the healer, and then we got to go get all the secondary healers, and then after that we got to find all the item users. And it would take a very long time. And so I think ultimately just one of those fights would end up taking longer than just doing this repeatedly until we get lucky, which sometimes might happen immediately. More than likely, though, this might have to be the last one for this one for today, because the next one is going to be the Flying Knights of Heim, as I like to call it. The Flying Knights are no longer a thing, at least not in the early game. I think they might actually still be a thing in this version, or in this level group. Before there was this funny bug where you had a warlock that was giving flight to everybody, and it was amazing. And I kind of wish that it was just a permanent feature there, but oh well. Which basically, Evan, that's more or less what it was turning that into. It's just like they were heavily utilizing flyers. Which actually, come to think that defenses on a lot of maps do utilize flyers. There's almost, I want to say about 75% of the castles do use flyers on top of their walls. It's kind of shown in a lot of cases that people don't walk as much as fly up there. Right, got the breach. This is viable. I'm gonna stick this right here. Seems like a weird choice, but there's a reason for it. Because what I'm thinking is that other dragon might take that top tile up there. If she wants to take a diagonal, she'll want to go down there. At some point, that dragon might back off, which would allow for her taking a turn there. But anyway, going back to it, though. So yeah, in a lot of cases there's that. Also, a lot of the birds tend to be mercenaries, now that I think about it. Because I think they mentioned in a lot of cases they're going for that whole they value freedom over everything else kind of approach. Alright, please move, dragon. Thank you. Oh, this might be perfect. This might be perfect. If she decides to go for a diagonal attack from the bottom there, it's maybe 20-30% chance to happen. Come on now. You know you want to do it. You know you want to do it. Go down there. Oh, you... No way. Well, it's not quite a finish, but it's close. Anyway, she slowed down enough that we should hopefully be able to get a turn to finish her off here. Maybe. He's going to get rid of slow. We still would be outspeeding her at this point, though. Because that's already technically like... what would it be, like 20-30 ticks, something like that? We're getting all our bar up from these dragons. Let's see, don't know that they do, though. Maybe on taller castles and with longer maps, use more ground units. True. Makes sense with race-nation relations that the avian units would not be in all armies. Yeah, it seems like they're occasionally on armies, but mostly serve as mercenaries. And then same thing with the lizards. They're story-wise, the lizards are just shoved in lizard ghettos. Apparently, that's a thing. You never actually see one. They're just really shunned bad. Alright, come on, please give me a turn before she moves. Oh, she's gonna move right before we do. Uh-oh. Oh, man. Hang on, sorry, one sec. One kid just ran away with another's basketball and slam dunked it in their room and ran away. So you know what? I will say, I'm pretty sure this was not exactly the phrasing that he used. Because how embarrassing would it be for the fact that all the other factions in this entire place couldn't actually manage to stop this guy? But then they repeatedly ended up getting stymied by this random lady that just showed up to the region one day, and his only instructions were just running into a corner, panicking and screaming, "Save my ass!" Like, oh, he means protect the postern gates. Right on it, sir. Please take that top tile. Oh, crap. Well, this might not be possible. Oh, crap. Kaboom. Oh, no? We made it? I mean, I guess technically speaking, they would have, that's a problem. No, not parried. Alright, the odds are next to none, given how many turns in we are at this point, but let's go back here. It's like, as soon as we can kind of shut her off here, the odds are better. I'm going to turn on Dragon Slayer on the very off chance that a dragon's the first thing that tries to hit us. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. How about that? And... oh, no, we're still in this. Somehow. A few more turns, that's gonna do... oh, yeah. Alright, just 5. Oh yeah, because we've got Light Aug, so that's why it's doing nothing. Please miss. Oh. Well, that's just tragic. Alright, and again we go. Wait. Nope. Continue. Whoa! What are we doing over there? No. No, you're not. You're gonna get in trouble if you do that. Alright, so here's the deal. When I'm strengthened, hopefully get attacked. You suck, random rune fencer. Well, Spellblade, in this case. Well, actually, it would still be a Valk in either case, now that I think about it. Oh, well. Alright, given that all the timing here got a little bit screwy, gonna see if slowing her down helps at all. Realistically, it probably won't do anything. Alright, there goes the slow. Yeah, if she backs up, we're just going to reset, because we won't be able to reach her. No? Why would you... Alright. Whatever. Alright, throw out a seed. Probably should have gone for anti-dragon there. That's fine. Unfortunately, he just screwed up our spacing. Somehow that missed. Yeah, we need her to attack first. Alright, idea. Bad idea. Actually, it might be a workable idea. No longer a good idea. Okay. We're gonna try one more time with a two-hander now. Come on, controller. Dude. What are you doing? Why is this controller so much more complicated than the last one? It's like it just starts freaking out and having all kinds of issues. Eh. Alright, place axes, two-handers. Light Aug is fine. Replace this with Aug Air. Yeah, main difference with this is I think the two-hander might be able to... Oh, wait, I need one more augment. Ah, crap. Alright, whatever. Because we never picked up augment water. Whoa, what are we yelling for, sir? Yeah, definitely need more evasion. Can sacrifice that helmet for a little bit. Yeah, that actually barely does more than the axe. If it crit, it would still do it, but... I think also the Varangian's just really good, and also our augments are a little bit screwy. Okay. So, I'm going to replace this with the Damask. And Aug Air is really handy, so we're going to have to keep that on there. Squash. It's very situationally handy, but that's the problem. It's either it saves everything or it does nothing. I will temporarily replace that, though, with Aug Water. And give this a couple more attempts. I mean, I already know for a fact I'm not going for the other gates. I'm pretty sure one of them's a caster, but this is the one I want to go for. It's kind of because of reasons. Might take Dragon Slayer off and put Squash back on, actually. Because the odds of having all the spare means to take out a dragon aren't very high. Especially if that hits. Alright, so 289. 268 to the whole group. Yeah, I can definitely get rid of Dragon Slayer here. But I need to keep standing next to her until she decides to attack. While we won't get the breach, being able to get a counterattack on her will be enough to go for the finisher. And, unlike the axes, we've got a little bit more range with this one. not be the way to go. Let's try it again. Controller. Thank you. Controller. Thank you. One sec. Huh. Interestingly, they took a different approach this time. So I'm not sure if the Wingling version will even work. Well, let's give it a shot. Oh, Cheerios, but you have your Cheerios. Alright. That got scary real fast. If this hits, there's a chance, but it's only 39%. Alright. That worked. Basically, she still has to attack, counter, we get... Okay, no. No part of that was going to work then. Alright, so let's optimize the axe build a little bit. Go for the Damask. Got axes in there. Back in there, rather. Oh, yeah? But it already is, look. It already is. Alright. Dragonfly might be useful because it's all, you can also use it to kind of cheese past past Rampart in some cases. So I would honestly say Dragonfly is probably like a more useful version of Siege. You know, actually, Siege could still be handy here, because that... Let's see if we can use Siege. See if we can make this work. Possibly Steadfast might not be the worst option, too. First up, what's your movement? Okay, we're gonna try to do a strengthen here. Realistically, unlikely to work, but, one can hope, right? So this is one of those few maps where everyone's kind of stuck in a certain spot. So yeah, theoretically we might be able to just 1v1 everybody. Better option might just be to try and do that with the Cleric. Maybe just go for the Flying Evasive Cleric again. Yeah, if we take that tower in the back, they're all going to have to go one-on-one. I didn't see if we saw Dragon Slayer. We're going to be able to save that guy. Yeah, if we go back here, those two archers are never even an issue. And we can prevent her from moving. Yeah, we've still got Dragon Slayer. They're still coming up. Yeah, okay. Back right will be the way to do this. Ah, crap. And double crap. They, yeah, both hit low odds. For some reason, prioritizing haste over healing their own guys. Right, whatever works. That's an int card. I shouldn't need it. Augments are going to matter a lot more than int down the road. Oof. Alright, so we're in a little bit of a screwy spot here. To the left? Still got Fortify up, but we're staggered, so almost all melee stuff's gonna automatically hit. Where that dragon attacked from is pretty much the only spot that they're gonna be able to do too much useful from. Oh, I guess we have that one in the back too, huh? Either way, it at least mitigates their tiles somewhat. Alright, unlikely as it was, we survived that turn. Now we wait for another one. We'll sit here and heal until we have an opportunity to do something else. Gotta wait for stagger to wear off, gotta wait for all these things to stop hitting constantly. Despite the frickin' low odds, man! 25-40% doesn't mean 100. Alright, slow war off. Still staggered. Dude. 340%. Get off the frickin' posterior with that one. Eh. Well, that build will work. I like it. I think that method will work. It was those two back-to-back 25 and 40 that completely screwed us. They never really had a chance to get rid of Strengthen. And they never really tried to either. But that way we can deal with some outliers before they even have a chance to do anything. Turn on Fortify. Turn on... Let's sidestep or dodge. Probably dodge. Alright, that time he didn't attack. This time we're just dealing with a knight. He's just in finisher range. Hopefully he'll run up, swing and miss. Need him to attack, need to counter him, and then need to hit him with a counter finisher. Or just do this, I guess. If we crit on the counter, then that's just that. Crit counter. Or just finish. Workable. So far, so good. So far, so very good. What the hell is she doing? I mean, like, yeah, Guardian Force is going to take away 25% of that damage, but still. I mean... double 40% are annoying, but oh well. Okay, good. Healer's gone. Now we back up. Re-up Siege for safety. As much as I really, really, really want to take a heal here, I might actually have to fight this one out still. Are they Dragonite right now? They're empowered. Yeah, Driving Cut would be a kill. He's running Rampart, though. We're running Siege. I could make it to the right, possibly, or... we pull the big brain move here and just fly to the right. Which would make us completely untouchable for the most part. And gives an extra turn to heal after that. Oh, crap. Okay, that's fine. No, we're just gonna sit here. You can't deal with my shrubs. They just dealt with my shrubs. And also, actually, that's what I was aiming for. So he gets Breach now. Can't quite finish him, but we can sit here and heal. And face that way, because if they've got an AoE, that's where they're going to throw it. Rude. Would you miss a 40%? God, man. Yeah, if it's possible to get through this using only one strength, then I'd like to. Using another one really wouldn't lend itself too well here anyway. 25%, sir. Come on. Everything he's done is 25 or 40%. He's still hit about 80% of his things. This is what I mean about luck feels like it's reversed sometimes. Alright, we're just gonna take one more heal turn here. We're mostly avoiding stuff. Oh, come on! 25% again. And 10% parry. Get that luck out of here. Alright, it is definitely now time to fly away. Okay, what the hell is your parry? It better be like, yeah, okay, 5, good. I was gonna say, still that's 25%, but if you're gonna be parrying that much, it better be 25% at least. Fortify. Yeah. Boo. Alright, anyway, we're gonna say that that is the way to do it. Probably continue this on later. We're gonna give this a little bit of a break, and then we'll be right back for the mana thing. So.